1, prepare.
We're not prepared.
Check that off the list. 2, stay sober.
Not happening.
Welcome to the best kind of worst.
No one fucking cares.
Everyone cares.
Who?
I care.
Dick suck.
So there I am in the parking lot. Underwear and a guinea.
Hang out in the back seat of a 7-Eleven.
It's an Emma!
We might die.
So you want to talk about those lesbians?
We need a Bay update.
I slept on the fucking tile!
Hello.
That was beautiful.
Are we done?
That was beautiful.
Oh, that was
I
beautiful.
almost let the whole song play, but I know we'll get banned in 175 countries.
Well, we're still going to get banned in 175 countries.
I think I'm going to start cutting this out of the YouTube
We can cut them out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start cutting it out.
That would probably be best.
Well, yeah, because I think they're I don't understand the strikes, but I know they're getting more stiff on them, and we've accumulated so many. Because like I said last week's episode was amazing, guys. Go back and listen to it.
It was fantastic.
Wonderful stuff. I know some people saying they're struggling to find it. It's there. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Take your phone back to Verizon, AT&T. Go up there and be like, hey, look, I love this podcast. Best podcast in the world. The phone's not working. Need to listen to it. But like the first 2 vlogs I did, I had the Natasha Bedingfield song in there and it didn't get flagged at all. And then I got flagged the third time and it didn't just like normally some flags are just, hey, you just can't monetize, which I'm fine with that. You know, because like we would only make a couple of bucks a video. It's not that big a deal.
Hey, it's a couple of bucks we don't have.
Well, I'm saying like if we were getting like, hundreds and thousands of hits, I'd be like, oh, that's different. Even 100,000 views, that's different. But this was a straight 175 country ban. Oh yeah. And I was like, oh well, let me flip the song.
And then they'll just mute you too. They'll just cut your audio out on some stuff.
Yeah, and then I think they'll down boost you, which I didn't think about that until just now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably start cutting the intro music.
That's
out
fine.
Of the beginning, unless it's Merle Haggard, because I guess Merle Haggard's just a true grit brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a true grit brother. I can't even call him a good brother. He's a true grit brother.
We should just start using all old folk songs that are in the Creative Commons license.
We could.
They're just royalty free to use,
The one thing that YouTube does do well is if you go into the beta studio, there's a whole section of they give you a whole list of like mainstream songs that they won't flag you for, which is real nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they don't have to do that.
Some people have just said, hey, anybody that wants to use our stuff here, they can use it, Yeah. So, yeah, it's nice they give you the list in case you want to get a known song in there.
Yeah. We're not like that fuck Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks only putting his music on fucking Amazon Music. What a douchebag.
Garth Brooks.
Have you seen Tom Segura go in on Garth Brooks?
What do you mean go in on him?
Oh, he roasts him.
I mean, they talk about him all the time.
He roasts him daily.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He had Wheeler Walker on your mom's house a couple weeks ago, and I listened to it. And Wheeler was just shitting on Garth. It was great. It was fucking great. He goes, you know what's wrong with the country music? He's like, I'm gonna make a large assumption here. He goes, people start forgetting things. People go kind of retarded when they get CTE. He's like, I think the entire South has CTE. That's why they love Garth Brooks. I was dying.
That's great.
You're a fucking idiot.
That's great. Your audio for me is starting to get real choppy in the headphones here.
Oh.
I don't know if you're starting to get a little lag or what. We're on audio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds a little clearer now.
Maybe I didn't have
anyway.
Maybe I didn't have the microphone near me. I try to position it to where it's close to my mouth.
It's just getting like chopped up. I mean, do you have your headset on or?
I got my Apple Pods and my headset on. I double bag my ears for these podcasts.
Yeah, it's just a little choppy, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, we'll power through. I mean, it's not going to be as good as last week, but hey,
Hey,
Last week was a
Episode
fucking
42.
masterpiece.
We're here. We're here.
Now, the one good thing about like the people, some people not hearing last week's episode, again, your fault, the listener, not us, is we kind of reflected on the podcast, and I'm like, I think we reflected a couple episodes too early. We should reflect on episode 50. The silver. What is 50?
What do you mean? Reflecting on?
We reflected on like what the podcast has done for us and like the growth.
Oh,
I feel like
that was you, son.
Yeah. I got into it too early. We had to do it on the 50. What's 50 in marriage years?
Oh, but we were over the hill. We got over the hill.
That's true. Isn't 50 like the silver jubilee in terms of wedding years? Right.
I don't fucking know these things. Why would you expect me to know these things?
I realized that neither of us are fluent in the terms of marriage, so I realized that was a bad question, but
yeah, still a good question.
I'm gonna be alone.
Let's see. Let's look it up here.
I think it's silver jubilee, or maybe that's 25. You got it. It's one of them.
I don't know. How to celebrate. This is all just how to celebrate. It's not given
silver jubilee.
What am I supposed to look up?
The 25th anniversary is the silver jubilee.
Oh, we already passed that.
Yeah,
we already
50th
passed that.
Anniversary jubilee. Oh, the golden anniversary. Yeah. 50 is the golden anniversary.
Gold is the precious metal associated. Yes.
And you know what 55 is?
No.
The emerald anniversary.
God, that's what we got to reflect on.
Yep.
Emerald
And then 60, the diamond jubilee. 65, the blue sapphire anniversary. For the 65th, since what famous person named their kid Blue? I don't know. Whoever that is, I'll look it up later, and that's all we're going to talk about. And then 70 is platinum jubilee. If we make it to 70, Jesus, we're going to throw a party because that means, well, I didn't die before then.
Yeah.
So how you been this week?
Not bad. It's been a good
busy.
week. Yeah, just been busy, man, the last couple of weeks, and the next month is only going to be more of that for sure. It's going to be a crazy year. It's already April. Before I know it, it's going to be fucking December for sure. It's just going to come. As it always does. But anyway.
Favorite part of the month of December?
Favorite part of the month of December?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a question or a statement?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have. Yeah, it's a question.
The end, because that's usually when I take a vacation.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I don't know. I just love how everything smells like pine trees.
Part of December.
Pine tree air fresheners.
But what? So what does that have to do with
like
the part
Febreze,
of the month?
Glade? They all come out with like Christmas tree scented candles.
But what does that have to do with the part of the month?
Because you can only get them during that season.
Yeah, but that's not a specific part of the month. You can get them all month. You can get them in November.
That's what I like about it.
You're not making sense.
That's all I like about it. I mean, who gives a fuck about Santa? Who cares about some guy that comes and gives fucking toys to kids? You know what I call that in my neck of the woods? A pedophile.
I guess.
He comes through the chimney. More like he comes in your chimney, but hey. Anyways.
Anyway, but yeah, good week. Just been busy the last couple weeks. Let's see. Last week was all editing. This week was all shooting. We're up at the old Sun and Fun Fly-In and Expo, International Fly-In and Expo, I believe it is.
Does that have anything to do with the Air Force Base down at MacDill?
No. Not specifically
No
anything
affiliate-
to do with the Air Force Base.
I never knew. That's why I was asking.
At least nothing that I saw, but it's an air show. So there were a lot of Air Force planes there. There were a lot of military people there walking around, working, showing airplanes. It was cool. It was a good event. I had never actually been to a big air show like that, so it was pretty cool. Apparently, they've been doing that one for 45 years. But yeah, so we were filming up there with a couple pilots that we're working with, and yeah, it was a good week. It was just busy, long, hot days walking around. You got to walk everywhere, so it's a lot carrying all the gear around and following these guys around, doing different things. We were doing different things and walking around, interviewing, shooting over in the hangars, and it was a good week. It was just busy, you know.
That's good. It's got to be cool getting around them planes and stuff. Any plane you've never seen before or that stood out?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, I don't know still don't know the names of any of them, you know.
Well, I mean, neither does Uncle Swole, and he's in the Air Force, so.
Yeah. There were a lot of really cool planes. Like they had a lot of the old warbirds, like old school fighter planes and stuff, and those were really cool. Those are just classic. They have a mean look to them. They're cool. Those I really enjoyed seeing a lot of the older planes. And then the Blue Angels were there, flying around, which was pretty cool.
That's got to be cool to see them.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They were doing a bunch of flybys. We didn't see their official show, but they do these like test flights all week. I mean, I think they might have done a show during the week as well, but their big show was supposed to be. The big show was supposed to be yesterday, I believe. We didn't go yesterday. I was actually editing some stuff yesterday, getting caught up since we were out shooting all week. But it was pretty cool to see them. I had never seen them, you know, in person, so it was cool. God, those jets are fucking loud. They had some F-35s out there, F-5s, F-16s, all the Fs you can think of. It was cool. It was pretty sweet to see. They had, you know, at the beginning of the show every day they do I don't know if it's the Army every time, but the one day that we filmed, the Army parachuters jump out, and the last guy has the American flag, and they do the national anthem, and then they'll do like the jet flyovers, and it was cool. It was cool to see.
Sounds like a win of a weekend.
Yeah, it was a good week. But yeah, that's about it. What about you?
Nothing, man. I've just been studying. Didn't do much this week in terms of like a vlog and media content for our podcast. I was just I was super busy. Yeah, I passed my first 3 exams with pretty solid numbers.
Oh, sweet. So that's good.
Got one more. Hope to
the big one, right? You don't have
yeah, just hope to never come back here again.
When's that coming?
It'll be the Thursday, the 20th.
Next week?
Or the 18th.
Shit. God, it already is.
In 2 weeks.
Kinda
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. That's right. 2 weeks. Okay. And then you come back right after that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here that Friday, but flights are crazy. Saturday, and it was like, well, maybe I'll stick 20th.
to
the
20th is a Saturday.
Yeah. So the exam's the 18th.
Thursday the 18th. Yeah.
A little
Good Friday.
A little
Passover,
5.5 hour.
Easter.
Is it really?
Yeah, that weekend. Yeah, it's good.
Damn.
Good Friday, Passover on Saturday, Easter Sunday.
It's a good weekend. I got the Lord sitting next to me.
Got the Lord with
Lord
you.
there giving a little guest appearance, little co-promotion.
Eat the old fish burger on Fridays.
No, I don't eat any fish here. That's
fish
not happening.
Burger.
You know that there's a fish, and it's like 3 years. I've been 2.5 years. and I don't know what kind of fish it is, but they literally package it in like a, like the styrofoam and the plastic wrap, like you would like for like the chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Like just standard meat packaging. They put it in one of those, and then they just leave it out in the heat.
Ugh. Oh,
and it smells, and it turns like 18 different colors, and the people here buy it and eat it. And I don't. First off, I don't know what it is. Second off, it smells disgusting. It's just
Why don't you just go catch your own? You could have fresh fish every day.
So here's the thing about where I'm at.
Only locals can fish?
No. The positioning. First off, I don't have time, but the reality is, even if I did, the positioning of the island in the Caribbean itself, there's only like, and they're literally rated like some of the highest beaches in the world. Like the beaches we have here are absolutely stunning. I shit on this place a lot, but it is absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah.
We have one beach that is just straight black sand. It's the coolest shit. But there's only certain places where you can actually get in the water because of the tide. Mm-hmm. If you just roll out in the water, you're gonna drown.
Yeah,
you're gonna drown.
Oh yeah.
So it's just dangerous. But they're locals here that get up in the morning, they go fish, they get like 3-4 fish, and that's how they eat.
That's their food.
It's a different world here. They're very much hunters and gatherers. Like and you know me, yeah. I don't. You know me, I get real emotional and real. It fucks me all up when I see someone mistreating an animal. But there's locals here that have a machete on them at all times, and we have these like little baboons, or they're not baboons. We have these little monkeys, and they're a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah,
they're a pain in the ass. Yeah. They'll straight, and they'll like run across the road. If a local gets anywhere near one of them, he'll hack it with the
I bet
with the machete, and that's what they eat that night.
Yeah.
It's
it's food. Two, it's a nuisance, right?
We are overpopulated with goats.
Yeah.
But I mean, overpopulated.
They don't eat the goats?
Yeah, they're the national dish here is some. What the hell do they call it?
Some kind of goat.
It's a goat soup. Yeah, okay. It's a goat soup. It's called something goat water.
Goat water.
I think it's goat water.
Goat water, and that's a soup.
Yeah,
it's like water.
It's like it looks like
it's very specific.
It's the color of like KFC gravy. It's like super brown. It's super thick, and
oh yeah.
The lady at we only have one gas station on the island, 2 gas stations. She's always slinging the soup. Yeah, it's a different place, man. It's a different world. But yeah, that's my week.
Nice. Fooled you.
So what do we do now? I forgot how to do this.
What do we do now?
I forgot.
God, we burned all our good shit up last week.
You know what? Last week's episode was really good. I will say that.
Wasn't?
I thought it really was. I enjoyed our conversation.
I thought it turned out all right.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the stuff that y'all didn't hear from last week. Probably the biggest one.
What you trying to say?
It's not our fault, man. That Cardi B story, man. I cannot believe she's gonna get a pass on this whole ordeal.
It's crazy.
And it's astounding to me because when the story first broke, and you know me, I don't like when people dig through your past and pull up shit you said years ago, right? Like jokes or things you tweeted out. I think that's stupid. Stop doing that, But they went back and they pulled a live video from her like 3-4 years ago where she's talking about how she used to drug or get people that came to the strip club that she worked at. She would get them all drunk and high and then, take them back like if she was going to fuck them for money. And then they would pass out and she'd steal their money and their credit cards, their wallet, whatever. And, she said, I had to do it because I had to survive. And when that first part broke, like, I can meet you there as a woman struggling, stripping. Like I can meet you there. I'd give you a pass. I don't think that makes you a terrible person. Doesn't make you a good person. Doesn't make you a good person by any stretch of the imagination. But I'd like to think that if I was pushed into a corner, that I would do whatever it took to provide. I'd like to think that I had that in me.
I can see that side of it.
Yeah, and and there's a limit to it.
Don't know that you need to drug people, but
no, I think there's other ways of doing it. But I mean, it's no different than someone robbing a convenience store. It's like, all right, you're a bad person, but if you really need the money, you didn't hurt anyone. The guy woke up the next day, canceled his credit cards, and it's not like American Express is going to make him pay for the $1,000 that she might have got from him, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, when you look at the whole thing of it, I'm like, all right, this is terrible, but it's not like I don't think that breaks you as a person. But then like the other part broke where she says that she used to get ex-boyfriends that cheated on her all drunk and high and entice them with a threesome and then call a transvestite and have them have a threesome with a transvestite and then berate them in the morning on how they fucked a dude or they fucked a guy with a dick or a girl with a dick. And that makes you a terrible person.
Absolutely.
That makes you a verified terrible person. Because that's my option.
I asked the same question last week, but I'm going to ask again because maybe you've heard something new. Where's the outrage from the trans community? Since there's outrage from them over everything else right now, were they?
It blows my mind.
Roar about this, or are they silent?
They should be. She said
they should be. That's what I'm asking. Are they? Have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? Are they silent?
No. This has been a hushed
black
story.
Woman, so we're just gonna not say shit.
Well, I don't know if it's a black woman, but it's a woman, right? And I don't want anyone to think that I'm pushing this narrative, with the wage gap and this. I'm not anti-feminist. I'm very much pro women,
no. I don't know about anti-feminist because feminists these days are.
I'm definitely anti the extreme side.
They don't want equality. They don't want equality. They want special treatment.
Yeah. I want human rights. I don't want just women rights or men rights. I want rights for everyone. I want everyone to be on the same playing ground. But the left wants you to think of the left wants to push equality of outcome where we're at the end of the day we all make the same amount of money and we all take home the same amount. We all eat the same. Like I'm sorry. Like some of us went to higher education, some of us didn't. I want everyone to have the opportunity to do that.
Yes. But what you do is up to you.
Exactly. And if I go to medical school, or like you're a cinematographer, right? And I decided I'm just going to work at racetrack because school's not for me. If you make more money than me, which you should, I'm okay with that because this is what I decide. This is what I'm happy doing.
Yeah, you wanted to go work at a gas station. I decided to put myself highly in debt to try and make better. To
eventually have it pay off
for myself.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I want to have the opportunity to go to film school just like you did, right?
Yeah, and everybody does.
But if I don't, that's not because the system failed me, right? That's just because I didn't want to do that.
I struggled to get in. I almost didn't get in because I couldn't get enough loans.
Yeah.
Because young kid, no credit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want.
Hard to find somebody to sign for you sometimes,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with feminists to a certain extent, but when you start going, believe all women, fuck men, I'm not like that's not okay. You don't correct a wrong with two rights don't make a wrong.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs don't make a right. There you go. There you go.
Two rights don't make a wrong. That's also accurate.
It's like when people actively fight against like races. Like that's not making it any better. I know what they're doing is wrong, and you want to take action. I get that, but it doesn't make any better. You're not making any progress because you're showing them what they think of you. Mm-hmm. Right?
For sure.
But if you do the opposite and take the high road and go, well, you're just an ignorant person and there's no place for you in my life, 9 times out of 10, you end up beating it. And this was her quote from the live video. And I have to say, I have to censor some words out because It's just not okay for me to say those things. Yo, if an N cheat on me, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to take him out. We going to get drunk. I'm going to get all perked up on everything. We going to have a good time. Get him super twisted. Then bring a bitch around. We going to have a threesome. And then he wake up. He going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm going to be like, yup, yeah, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yup, a tranny sucked your dick. You ain't gotta fuck another N to get even, bitch. There's other ways to get even, you know? And,
so it's advocating for one, terrible English, and two, basically, tranny rape.
Well, it's being malicious to be malicious, right? Like survival means you don't have any choices. You're making a choice to do this.
Yeah. Well, but then you had also made a comment about how she was making like 20 grand. What was it? Something about like she had 20 grand stashed away, and she was making thousands of dollars a night.
So
you really had to struggle to
And that was the final straw. Is that then they pulled more the few people that thought this was outrageous pulled other videos where she boasted about making up to $3,000 a night, and that by the age of 21 she had 20,000 ones stashed in her apartment. So
$3,000 a night. The fuck out of
now
here.
I don't
really struggling, huh?
I don't have any time for you now. You're not a good person, and because here's the thing, like the story of I don't know much about Cardi B. I don't listen to rap music that often, but the little bit that I do know is that she's a success story. She went from stripping to a TV show. I don't know what show, but it was like a reality show. To rapping to probably the biggest female rapper of all time. She's selling more than I think anyone has ever sold. It's insane, her numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't really know anything about her.
Yeah, so like
other than everything you've just said.
She's just
all I know is I've heard some stuff, and
yeah.
God, I can't listen to it.
Oh, I think the music's terrible, but her record sales are out of control. So when you see someone like this as a young woman,
but you're a terrible person.
Well, I'm saying she's a role model to young women. Right? Being just thinking
technically, yes.
When you pose it as a survival story,
when you see
she's a role model.
Actually is.
Right?
Yeah.
You're not a role model. You're a terrible person, and no one should look up to you. And that's why it shocks me that this story doesn't get more traction, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Pretty much the only people that talked about it, and I don't even know why it became this, is the conservative news sites. I don't understand why that the liberal news media wasn't running this. And the few articles that they did run, they only talked about the survival part. I don't know how this became so political, you know? I don't. This is really cut and dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At first you go, oh, this is a survival story. Maybe I give her a pass, maybe not. And then you go, oh, no. You're a terrible person. That's the only narrative that we should be showing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not.
Trying to promote her still as a role model when she's advocating for terrible acts.
You know, we're seeing now, and I think, and I hope, I have hope this week because the ratings for CNN are almost in the toilet post Mueller report. No one talked about that report more than CNN and Rachel Maddow. Mm-hmm. And I believe the people now are going, although I don't agree with Trump, maybe the fake news narrative isn't so fake.
Maybe there's something to it.
Maybe there is something to it because I've been told for 2 years that he was a Russian spy, that he was a Russian operative, that he gave them the nuke codes. Here we are. And 2 years later, I got nothing. And then reports coming out saying that Nancy Pelosi is telling the young Democrats, the AOCs, the Ilhan Omars, hey, let's just stay away from this. It's not helping us anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think we're seeing the tide turn because, you know, Tucker Carlson in his 1 hour show on Fox News, he beat out, just his 1 hour, beat out the 3 hour primetime shows on CNN altogether by nearly 1 million viewers. So I that gives me some hope. I don't care where you get your media from. Just look at it objectively. And I'm not saying go watch Fox News. I don't think we should watch any of them. Do your own research. Read on your own. Don't take anything you read to heart, you know? But CNN has a staunch track record of literally just making up stories.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Maybe it's finally starting to come through, right?
I hope. I mean, that's all I can do is hope. I think America's getting fed up. I think people are becoming more aware of clickbait.
Hopefully, because it's terrible. We've talked about it before. I just won't click on it. I won't read it.
Yeah, and it was funny because Tucker didn't even mention anything about the ratings. And CNN, the moment they were posted, like some publications caught up on it and they were like, oh, you know, like he beat out the 3 primetime hour slots for them. You know, and look, I like Don Lemon from CNN. I think he's a fine journalist. I think he's got integrity. The other two, not so much. But they immediately put on they immediately wrote a smear article on Tucker. And it was like, well, you're just showing that he's beating you guys. Like, you're not helping. He didn't say a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he should.
Crazy.
But it is what it is. But yeah, like, this Cardi B thing, it's one of the stupidest and most horrible things I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty atrocious. But any update? I know we touched on the old Conor McGregor retirement, right? And then you kind of said that it's just for show. It's really just make a statement. Any updates?
Well, yeah, I'll do a little recap. So ESPN and UFC just extended their 5-year now to 7 years, and we're only about, 6 months into the 5-year. So I think they're locked up at least to 2026. I actually do have more information, and it was funny. Brendan Schaub, I absolutely love his below the belt interviews that he does for YouTube. He just he'll interview a fighter. They'll go sit at a food truck and eat and talk fighting, and it's very loose and it's just a conversation. And this week he just did a conversation outside of a coffee shop with Luke Thomas from SiriusXM, and he does MMA journalism, and he's my go-to guy. This guy is just on top of it. And for a guy that's never fought and done any training, and to have such knowledge in MMA, he was an ex-Marine, just a good guy. So smart. Nice. They did a little interview, and it was supposed to be 10 or 15 minutes. It ended up being an hour and 10. So I just let it play while I was studying. Shit. And this guy said, and when I pull out numbers, I'm doing that math myself. Last week I pulled out some numbers on pay-per-view buys. That's not me doing research. That's me just doing estimations and doing the numbers myself. I'm terrible at math.
Just bullshitting.
I was near dead on. I had the exact same guaranteed income that Luke came up with. So pat on my own back. Better. But no, I'm kidding. I don't care about being right. So ESPN has, and will now, ESPN Plus, their online platform for $4.99 a month, will now carry all UFC pay-per-views. UFC pay-per-views generally go for $64.99. They're now going to be $49.99 on addition to the standard $4.99 a month. I think that's egregious. I think that's way too high. When you look at the WWE Network,
so you still got to pay $50 a month.
You still got to pay a premium.
$5 a month.
Yep.
See, I thought the ESPN Plus was a little higher. It's not terrible at $4.99 a month, but it's still.
It actually might be $7 a month.
Yeah, I thought it was $7.
It might be
$7 or $8 a month.
Yeah, it might be $1 a day. It might be $7.
Yeah, I thought it was $6.99, $7.99 or something like that. Anyway.
But I think that's egregious when you look at when you look at the and people get real finicky when you make pro wrestling and MMA correlations, but they're very much in the same space. They're very much in the same space, and to say that they're not, you're ignorant. When you look at WWE, they started losing pay-per-view buys. People couldn't afford $64.95 12 times a year, 11 times a year, and $74.95 once a year for WrestleMania. It's just not feasible for the average consumer. The average consumer cannot purchase that, right? And I think they realize that their insulated audience, the audience that's not going to leave them, isn't the high class, right?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I think the same goes for MMA. Now, the people in the arenas watching the fights, those are non-insulated fans. Not at least not the ones sitting in the first section or the floor. Maybe the third section, right? The nosebleeds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The average person sitting in that arena is someone that's very wealthy, that's there just because they can be there.
Well, yeah,
that's not me knocking them.
No, but it's just one of those things that celebrities do. They go to these big events to be seen. You know, yeah, sure, they enjoy it, but they're not there every week. You know, 100%. They go. It's more of a publicity thing.
So WWE was doing probably 125 to 150 pay-per-view buys per pay-per-view, and then they were doing about 1 million for WrestleMania. And I'm not going to go through all the numbers again, but they transitioned to the network. $9.99 a month, you get all the pay-per-views. Right. And now they've got over 1.5 million subscribers. So they're making actually probably about 30 to 40, sometimes 50 million more per year by doing this model. And now you're not paying $60 a month. It's a genius move, right?
Yeah.
And they already have,
because your dedicated fan is going to pay it no matter what, right?
Exactly.
And because it's so cheap, you're going to get some other people to join too.
Yep.
You know.
And they have, and Vince McMahon has had a track record of buying up video catalogs of smaller promotions. Yep. They have WCW's catalog, not NWA, because Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins has that.
That's kind of funny.
He owns the NWA catalog and the belt. He's actually working with Ring of Honor. I think you're going to see a resurgence of the NWA. Yeah, and he's an actual wrestling fan. He knows his shit. It's interesting.
Nice.
But anyways, he has a lot of old school catalogs. So then you throw the catalogs on the network, and now you're watching old matches that you or I would have never seen because it's just before our time, right? And
absolutely,
my favorite sport is professional wrestling, and I don't care how stupid that sounds. Is the fucking best in the world. I've watched it since I was a kid. I love it. But I thought MMA, I thought Dana White and UFC would eventually go to this model. Not at $9.99. I don't think that's feasible for them, but I thought maybe at $14.99.
Yeah.
I thought $14.99 would have been the right price.
I assumed they would do their own model. I don't understand why
they had their own, and then they, for
ESPN.
some reason, just gave up and was like, we'll just give it all to ESPN. Now, what I will say is the production quality. Well, the production quality on ESPN is definitely better because they're going to control the production, the cameras, and all that. And I thought they started Rocky because they had like commercials, and it wasn't like a commercial. Like ESPN would just bring up a banner and it would just say currently in commercial, but there was no commercials playing. You know. And I mentioned that to you like about 5 or 6 episodes ago, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And now they've done away with that, and they're just showing like the trainers talking to the fighters in between rounds and stuff.
Well, that's good because it makes no sense to pay for no commercials, but you have to sit there and watch a screen that says no commercials. Like
yeah, and then they do when they do play ads, it's just ads based on like who's promoting, who's advertising during that fight, which I don't mind a couple of ads here and there. I'd much rather watch an ad than just a blank screen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'd prefer no ads, but if I'm going to have to watch, I'd rather that than a blank screen. So, like I said, I thought that they would go to this $14.99 or maybe even $20 a month. You know, I honestly did because the pay-per-view model's dead. Cable TV's dead. Apple's got their own TV thing now. You know, I think Netflix is going to start struggling here in a little bit because they're not insulated like Apple and Amazon. So I really thought UFC would do this for their average fan, and they didn't.
But maybe kind of some of what you're saying is a little contradictory.
But wait. they're basically saying we've maxed out how many fans we can get in the U.S. and we don't give a fuck anymore about adding anyone. The people that buy our pay-per-views, the 110,000 that do, we're going to keep with them. ESPN, in this deal, ESPN is paying UFC for every pay-per-view a flat rate of 500,000 buys.
Interesting.
UFC can't make anything less than that. So they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck anymore.
But can they make more than that?
If they sell more.
Point.
But they weren't making that anyways.
Yeah.
They weren't making that anyways.
So ESPN's basically just hoping they'll be able to promote it better and get more people to watch.
ESPN wants more people on the ESPN Plus because I think they see TV's dying. We're not gonna be able to sell ads. We need to get people on this ESPN Plus, drive it up to 10 or 12 or $15 a month, and we're gonna use the UFC to do it, and then we're gonna pull our channel off of cable. And we're gonna say, fuck it. Disney's got their own, they're owned by Disney. Disney's got their own Disney app coming out. They're going to pull all their movies from Netflix. That's going to hurt Netflix.
Yep.
They're going to say, fuck it. We're going to go full digital and that's it. You want us, you're going to have to pay every fucking month. And and UFC just said, fuck it. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm getting 500,000 buys a pay-per-view. This is going to be the most guaranteed cash they've ever gotten. It's going to be somewhere between $600 and $700 million a year guaranteed, just based on their TV contract with ESPN and the guaranteed buys. That's the most capital they've ever gotten in the history. So they don't give a fuck. And what this really hurts is the fighters. This hurts the fighters, and that's why I think Conor stepped away, because now, look, when Conor broke out and became the face. And for me, he's still the face of MMA. When he broke out, he instantaneously controlled the narrative. Meaning, fuck, we're going to go from paying these guys maybe $100,000 a fight to now he's going to make he's going to make $1 million. Conor and Khabib split $5 million, 3-2. Khabib got $3 million, Conor got $2 million. Conor, Floyd Mayweather took home $200 million. Conor took home $100 million. That is
crazy.
Do you understand the gap between that?
It's huge.
So yeah, Conor wants more and he deserves more, because guess what? When UFC sold to WME, do you honestly think if they didn't have Conor McGregor, would they sell for $4 billion? Not a chance. Maybe two. I think I dare someone argue, I think Conor McGregor doubled their appraisal. So when he says, I want a piece, I want 5% of the company, I don't think he's wrong. Now, I don't think they should give him that, because that's a bad precedent, right? Fine. He has a company called McGregor Promotions. Let him co-promote the event. Cut him a promoter fee, and now you've sufficed everyone. You made
He's going to do a better job promoting anyway.
You made your money on the fight, and now since you sold this fight, even if he's not even fighting, let him co-promote all of them, because guess what?
Yeah.
Everyone follows Conor McGregor on Twitter. So if he can sell a fight that he's not in, I know he can. Let him co-promote with you. Right? Cut him $1 million here, $2 million here, right? That ain't hurting y'all. But no, you want to keep paying fighters next to nothing.
Yep.
If you fight on the undercard, you understand, ladies and gentlemen, you're making less than $50,000 a fight. You're making maybe 20.
Crazy.
You couldn't pay me $20,000 to step in an octagon.
You just trained for fucking months,
You train for months. You have to have a fucking day job to provide for your family. And then the UFC's got the audacity to pay you $25,000 for a fucking get the fuck out of here. So anybody that reports, oh, this is great for MMA, this is terrible for MMA. It's great for the UFC. It's great for the UFC.
Yeah.
It's really bad for the fighters. And the only thing that's going to change that is all of them getting together collectively and going, we're not fighting anymore. Right? But you can't do that because you have fighters making $20,000 a fight that if they do that, they don't eat.
They're fucked.
So they've got you by the balls. There's no more champs. There's no more double champs. UFC was backed into a corner, having to put on super fights because they weren't selling pay-per-views. That's done.
Yeah.
They announced the ESPN deal, and then they announced the next 3 pay-per-view cards. They got a headliner for one card. I haven't heard of either fighter, and that's no disrespect. They don't give a fuck.
But it is what it is because they're not promoting these people.
They don't give a fuck anymore because they got a guaranteed
They got
cut.
their money. They got guaranteed money.
Now Conor retires, and then he gets the New York Times leaks the rape thing, and that's what I'll add this week. I did a little digging. So and I'm going to preface this because there are legalities to this, so I cannot say anything I say. I've only read online, and I've only read through WhatsApp. I've read text messages, and I've seen videos. Nothing I say right now, I know to be anything factual. In the country of Ireland, you can the media is only allowed to release your name when you are actually convicted of a crime. Before that, they cannot release your name. And I think that's a really good law. But it opens yourself up for a lot of legality. So this rape thing with Conor McGregor has been going on for about 6 months now.
I didn't hear about this.
We don't because they cannot release his name, but his name did. One media publication in Ireland alluded to a high profile athlete, and the only person people can think of is Conor McGregor. So that's where the allegations have come from, right? So this has been going on for about 6 months. Now, there is a subreddit online where people from Ireland are writing about how terrible of a person Conor McGregor is. I'll ride Conor McGregor's dick until they tell me he's a rapist. And then I will retract everything I say because I don't think he's a bad person. But if the things that have been said online are true, he's a terrible person and it's going to get very ugly for him. Yeah. He'll lose everything. There's reports that he is just fucking everybody and everything. He rolls with a gang, like a legit gang. He frequents crack houses. There's reports that his cocaine addiction is completely out of control. There's videos of him I saw a video of him in a tree house, just stoned out of his mind. Literally the night before his girlfriend Dee gave birth to their second child. There's reports that he's had a couple of kids with other women.
Interesting.
There's a subreddit that people and I'm not going to give out the name, but you can literally just type it in and pull it up. Of just people just putting things that they've seen or heard him do because Ireland is such a small country. There's text messages from people that have fucked him and slept with him that, Dee texted him like, "Oh, Conor was with me last night." Dee texted him in the morning saying she was going into labor, and instead of getting up and rushing to the hospital, he finished all the cocaine he bought the night before. We fucked another time, and then he finally made his way to the hospital. Anything I just said, I have no proof of that.
It's all
hearsay. Ireland takes this shit very seriously. The media publication that wrote high profile athlete will probably they're looking into some kind of legal ramifications to them.
Wow.
So
that I do like that about Ireland because
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, it's. We like to say here, innocent till proven guilty, but as soon as you get accused of something, your life is never going back to be the same, even if you are 100% innocent.
Well, what it would allow is to prevent us from going, he's guilty, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because look.
Absolutely. It stops from people's fucking lives being ruined over somebody lying, right?
Let's take Harvey Weinstein, for instance. When he gets put on trial, can you find 12 jurors that are going to open-mindedly hear this case? No.
No.
He's going to get off. Ladies and gentlemen,
real hard.
He's going to get off.
Yeah.
He's not going to get, they're not going to find him not guilty, but he's not going to get charged with anything. They're going to somehow finagle a way where it's a mistrial. Because there's no one in this planet that doesn't think he didn't do it. I think he's guilty.
Yeah.
I think he's guilty.
It'd be hard to find 12 people that don't know about it or aren't biased.
But yeah. I like that about them, but it's going to be a tough road for Conor, and I hope I don't ever want to see a woman get raped. I don't ever want to see a woman get harmed.
No.
So my hope is that this is not true, because I really do think at his core, Conor's a good person, and I'll say that until I'm proven wrong. You know, I will say, you know, this week he got into it with Khabib, and look, if you're going to retire from MMA, then get out of it, Mm-hmm. I don't need you on Twitter posting a photo. Khabib Nurmagomedov is a Russian Muslim, and he's a strict Muslim. So I don't know how, but Conor somehow got photos of his wedding. Khabib is very private. He does not have his wife at his fights. I don't believe anyone's ever even seen her face. In the wedding photo, her entire face is covered with like the shawl or whatever the wedding cover, whatever you call that thing. And he posted it up, and he was like, "Your wife's like I don't know." He said something stupid, you know. And then Khabib replied with a rapist joke and like a picture of him like it looked like he was sexually assaulting. It looked like he had his hand up some girl's skirt that wasn't his wife, his girlfriend, and he was like, "Well, at least I'm not a rapist," you know.
Yeah.
And they both, I think, you know, obviously Dana immediately put the call in. Uncle Dana was like, "You got to take that down, guys." You know, they both took it down. Look, Khabib is completely wrong taking it that far, because Conor is innocent until proven guilty. Conor shouldn't be going at his wife or his religion.
It's all wrong.
Look, if you guys are in an agreement to fight and you're promoting the fight, that's different.
Yeah.
You're not fighting. Sure. You're retired. Hey.
Yeah.
You guys are going too.
If you're retired, why are you calling people out?
Both of you are going too far. You're going too far. I'm huge on, hey, let's sell as many pay-per-views as we can. That's my job as a fighter. But because now when people see that, they go, "Oh, well, Conor might be a rapist." And then when they see that, they're like, "Oh, Khabib's a piece of shit because his wife's all covered up. Why, what are you controlling her?" It's like, hey, guys, let's leave all that
religion.
out. Let's leave that out of this. Let's leave that out of this. So it's going to be an interesting road for Conor, and we'll see how it plays out. You know, he is cooperating, though. I will say all the reports say he did cooperate. He turned himself in. They let him out the next day. He did give DNA samples, according to the reports. So he is cooperating. So I can't say he's not.
Interesting.
But, you know, we'll see how it all plays out.
This is all with the rape thing in Ireland?
Yeah.
So how do they have this information?
They know that the person was arrested, did turn themselves in and cooperated.
Interesting.
But
so if it was him.
So yeah, if it was him, he is cooperating. But yeah, a lot of the MMA people, a lot of the MMA sites and the people aren't talking a lot about it because of the ramifications of Ireland. So
yeah, for sure.
That's why I had to strongly preface this with this is all hearsay, because
well, of course, there's nothing out there unless it's proven guilty, right?
It would be cool if we got sued by a whole country, though. I'm not going to lie. That'd be good for us.
Be great. Be great.
We'll stay on sports real quick. The AAF officially folded 8 games into their inaugural season, the Alliance of American Football.
They what? Sorry?
The Alliance of American Football, the minor league NFL league.
Uh-huh.
They officially folded 8 games into their inaugural season.
Interesting.
A couple of takeaways from this. I actually talked about them on a podcast that you weren't on when you were overseas. I really they did away with kickoffs. Love that. They did away with onside kicks. You get a 4th and 16 from like the 35, which is like the statistical equivalent of an onside kick, the statistical probability. Love that. They did away with extra points, and they forced you to just go for 2. Love that. And because there's no kickoffs, you literally score, go for 2, and then go right into the next drive. And there's no commercials because like in the NFL, you score, there's a commercial.
Oh yeah,
you kick the extra point, another commercial. You kick off, another commercial, and then finally now 10 minutes later we're on the next drive. You score 2 points, put the ball on the 25. Next drive, which I loved because it made the game shorter.
Yeah, it's nice.
They mic'd up
absolutely.
They mic'd up the quarterbacks, so you got to actually hear them talking to the refs. Love that. The coaches were mic'd up. Love that. And they did something that I realized this because I actually they're allowing people to like live stream it. They're not having YouTube take it down because more people are watching it because the ratings actually were pretty decent. It was like 500,000 people watching every week.
That's good.
And it was like steady. It didn't drop off. So there's obviously an appetite for more football. So I think that bodes well for the XFL next season. But when they got inside the 10-yard line, they went to Skycam so that you could see the whole play develop. Something that you and I talked about months ago.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. So I think there was a lot
awesome.
I think this is a great demonstration for the XFL on how to succeed and how not to fail.
Yeah.
But it just came down to capital.
You said they folded after 8 games.
Yeah, so after it was portrayed as being really organized, but apparently it was not. Like I read that the Florida team, the team in Orlando, didn't have any state insurance, so they actually had to practice in Georgia with the Atlanta team because there was state insurance for that team. Like the XFL has insurance for all their teams already, and they haven't even really announced all of the teams yet. So that just shows how more organized Vince is versus the AAF. But they were unorganized or insurance. 2 weeks in, they needed more capital, so they allowed the owner of an NHL team. I think the Carolina Hurricanes or something. Whoever that owner is, they allowed him to buy in, and he bought a controlling interest of the league. And in 6 weeks, he lost $75 million, and he's the one that made the decision to fold.
Jesus Christ.
Because the NFL is still not allowing them to use players that are on future contracts. So when you're allowed to sign, I think, I don't know the amount. I think it's like 10 or 20 practice squad players. Right?
Okay.
And a practice squad is like a base salary of a couple of $100,000, and your job is just to come in there and fill spots. You're a practice squad guy. Your goal is to try to like work your way up, right? But the practice squad guys, if there's some buzz around you, another team can just buy you out and give you a contract to be on the main roster of another team. But if you're on a futures contract, that's kind of the way that protecting you from another team poaching you.
Yeah.
The AAF wanted access to practice squad and future contract guys to give them kind of the platform to show that they can play, and the NFL was not allowing them the access to those younger players. So that's where
want them for themselves.
That's where they're saying the disconnect was, and that's the reason why they were folding, is because they can't develop players if they can't get young players. If they're just getting ex NFL players that fizzled out,
it's not going to get them anywhere.
That's not a developmental league. That's just a second league. And so their partnership with the NFL was kind of under false pretenses, because like the NFL was helping them out a little bit, but they weren't allowing them access to the younger players, and that's the
they want to be able to draft them right from college.
Yeah, I don't think no one's going to get access to the draft guys, but I think they wanted.
No.
I think they wanted the scraps, what was left, and the NFL was like, well, no, those go to practice squads, and then they have the future contracts, and then you can have whatever's left. And the AAF was like,
there's nobody left.
That's F. That's an F player that has potential to be like a C player. We need like a D- that has potential to be a C+.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. It was nice seeing Steve Spurrier from University of Florida coaching, or the Orlando team was like 8-1. They were doing really well. he came out because he's the old ball coach. He came out and he's like, well, since the league folded and we were 7-1, we have the best record. I guess we're the champions, right?
I guess that's true.
I was like, I fucking love Steve Spurrier.
That's funny.
The backup quarterback, because like I said, all the quarterbacks and the head coach are mic'd up. Anytime, like, because Steve Spurrier's like fucking 75, I think.
Yeah.
The backup quarterback, they had him mic'd up, and they had a couple plays that like they got hit like out of bounds, and they got real close to Spurrier. The backup quarterback goes, "Hey, I'm your protector, man. I got you. Don't worry. No one's gonna hit you." And he kept standing in front of him when the play got too close. It was hilarious. That kind of stuff I think the NFL needs to embrace, because you get to see like the human side of the players.
Yeah.
And there was no restriction on hitting, so hitting was full-fledged, and I fucking love that. These players know what they're signing up for. CTE is a horrible thing.
Absolutely.
I'm in goddamn medical school. I know the effects of CTE, but guess what? You're getting paid millions to get hit like if you're getting hit by a car 30 times a game. You sign up for it.
Oh, but these guys aren't getting paid millions, are they?
You know what? Their contracts weren't terrible. It was they all got signed 3-year deals for $250,000, which is a lot more money than probably most of these kids are making. And a couple of them have gotten signed by NFL teams this week.
Wow.
Yeah,
so they folded and went, "Oh, you were actually pretty good. Let's pick you up."
Yeah, Garrett Gilbert, the quarterback for the Orlando team, was just straight shredding, and he got signed by the Cleveland Browns. He's going to battle for their backup job. Like, he's actually getting a shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not just like, "Oh, we'll sign him. Fuck it." No, he's getting. They already came on, said it. He's battling for the backup position. So to back up Baker. So that's cool, man. I thought it was. I'm really excited for the XFL. I think Vince is going to get it right. Yeah. What you got this week?
Oh, God, I don't know. You just went off on a rant.
Yeah, because the Conor thing, man. The Conor thing got real twisted, because I heard Brendan made just an offhanded comment. He's like, "Look, I love Conor, but some of the stuff I hear is real bad." So I did a quick search, and I found the plethora of information I found off this subreddit was insane.
Yeah.
And newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what the fuck a subreddit is.
It's a subreddit.
I don't even know what Reddit is, so there's that.
Well, I know what it is, but don't use it.
I don't know. It's like people just post comments. I don't know. For me, that just seems like people are just talking shit about other people.
That's essentially what it is. It's just like, I don't know the best way to. It's like an old style chat room, right? Where you just talk shit.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I mean, that's what it looked like.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
You post a topic, right? And okay, so here's the topic. Here's what we're going to talk about, and then it's just ridiculousness.
Yep.
God, I don't know what to go into. We talked a little bit about some rape, some sexual assault already. I got some of that. Could switch it up.
Yeah.
We got some murder as usual.
Keep it loose. Let's keep it loose, baby.
Let's keep it loose.
Let's keep it loose.
What direction do you want? Do you want
I got a quick
something completely different? You want some murder? You want some sexual assault?
I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
Did you see the Joker trailer?
Fantastic.
God, did DC hit a home run?
It was fantastic. The trailer was good. That does not mean it's all going to be good.
I know.
But as Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, I am very optimistic about it.
When he sticks his hand in his mouth and
he's doing fantastic,
and he's doing the smile, I was like, God.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And everything looked great. The cinematography was beautiful.
Oh, it was
shot color
beautiful.
Tones, the colors they used were just fucking perfect.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm back in that time. It was so good. And that's Todd Phillips, the guy from The Hangover. God, it was done so well, man.
Of all people. Yeah. No, it looked fantastic. I'm excited for it.
I'm really excited. And look, this could be a game changer for DC, because I don't care what anyone says. Marvel movies are boring.
Right direction.
They're boring.
they have gotten boring. There are a few good ones here and there, but they've gotten really boring and stale.
The real good ones are the ones that don't do really well.
But they need DC has a good chance here, but they need to capitalize. You know,
the movie has to be good.
They hit a home run with Wonder Woman and then kind of crashed on their next few.
Yeah.
I think we might have talked about this before. They're trying to play catch up too quickly.
Yes. They're trying to create a universe too quickly.
They really need to just focus on making good movies. I haven't seen a handful of them just because I watched a couple and I was like, whatever. Yeah. Never even saw the Justice League. Heard it was very similar. It wasn't great.
I thought it was okay. I don't think it was
Aquaman
terrible.
Looked terrible.
I haven't seen Aquaman.
I haven't seen it. It just looked bad. Yeah. The trailer was awful. So I don't know. You know, a couple of them I should maybe watch.
I'm just hopeful.
So I can compare. But I'm very hopeful for the Joker. I'm definitely going to see that.
I meant to text you the day I watched it.
Definitely my favorite villain in the comic book world.
I didn't think anybody could do it better than Jack Nicholson, and then I think Heath Ledger killed it. And then I see
he killed it. It was a different character, which was so I still love Jack Nicholson's performance. Everybody talks shit about it, but it's an old school style. It was raw. It was real for what it was. It was that. You know, and I was talking about this with a buddy yesterday because he had mentioned the Joker trailer, and we were talking about. Okay, so we were talking about the different storylines. I mean, with comic books, there's so many different storylines, right? Like
so many different story arcs.
They come out with a new story arc, and okay, now this is really what happened with Joker and the Batman, and this is how the Joker came to be. This is how Batman came to be, and now this Joker is a little more lighthearted. This one's a little darker. So there's all these different, these different types of characters that could be played, and so I still love Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker. I thought he was amazing.
It's 1A, 1B for me.
Exactly. Heath Ledger was the complete opposite, dark-sided Joker, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, Joaquin Phoenix seems to be on that darker side.
Yep.
But it's also more of an origin story, so you get to see a little bit more of him. And him before becoming the Joker, which I thought was really cool, where at the beginning it just kind of shows him being kind of pushed around and beat up. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and I mean, no disrespect to Jared Leto either. I think he did a fine job too.
I thought he did all right for the character, right? Yeah. It wasn't my favorite, but for the character that he was portraying, he did a good job.
If they don't have Margot Robbie and what's that character? Jesus, what's his love interest? What's her name?
Who are you thinking of?
Margot Robbie, the Joker's lover. His girlfriend.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, if he doesn't have, if Jared Leto doesn't have Harley Quinn there, like Margot Robbie, maybe his performance isn't as good, but their interaction was fucking fantastic.
Their interaction was good, and that played to the type of character that he was. Yep. His character fit what Suicide Squad was doing as a movie and the storyline, right?
Yeah.
So
kind of like a douchebag villain that you might like.
Yes, exactly. That's what he was supposed to be, and I thought he did a good job with it.
Yep.
Now, supposedly they're supposed to come out with more of a movie on him still.
Yes, yeah. And she's got her own too, which I think is going to be really good.
She's got her own, which I think will be awesome. That should be cool. There's a lot of different story arcs with her as well, but for the most part, it's all pretty simple.
Yeah.
So they should be able to do a pretty good job with it, hopefully.
Last question.
But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Last question. We'll move on from this. How many boys do you think she made come in movie theaters during that movie?
75%.
Jesus Christ. I don't disagree. God, she looked good during the whole movie.
75%. Yeah, of course.
If you're not half up the entire movie, and you just don't like
beautiful woman.
You don't like women.
You just don't like women.
You're gay.
Yeah, you're gay. But looks fantastic.
Yeah, looks real good.
Can't wait. It comes out October? I think it said.
You got me.
Like a Halloween release.
You got me there. I got nothing.
I think it said at the end of the trailer October.
Yeah, I thought it was like June or July. That was a summer release, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah. So what you want?
Whatever.
You want a little sex salt?
October 3rd. October 3rd. Our producer just yelled at me October 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Thanks, Siri. Our producer, Gugal.
Gugal.
Yeah, she's Sephoran.
Sephoran?
She's Sephoran.
Nice. All right, let's go. Let's change it up.
Yeah.
Save a cow. Eat a Whopper.
Oh, the new
Impossible
Whopper?
Burgers.
The Impossible Burgers.
Impossible Burgers are coming to Burger King. They're teaming up.
I saw a video on that.
Go get yourself a non-meat burger. Impossible is one of the bigger brands, for what I gather, of veggie type burgers, right?
Well, here's the distinction
non-meat burgers.
Here's the distinction for Impossible with like Morningstar or Boca Burgers. Those are going to be soy or bean based patties.
Yep. These are all plant.
Impossible is plant based meat. They're actually creating meat from plants, which is
from plants.
Yeah, it's crazy. I watched a video from some foodie because I thought the burger thing was a joke, and it's not.
Yeah.
And they're hard on the fact that they're not like an alternative. They're like, no, it's meat. It's just plant based.
Yeah. Well, it's so not meat. Because meat is not plant based,
but it's got because you like.
What you're saying.
So like when you get your ground, like I like to make my own patties. I think you do the same thing, right? You have those little fat pieces.
I just buy
They have those in there. They have like the little fat pieces. Like it looks just like a fucking hamburger.
Like, it looks like a burger. I even tried one.
Did you have one?
I never knew anything about it. Until I had never even really heard of them until Sister Vintage got on the whole kick, you know?
Yeah.
And we went to, I feel like you were there. We went to Topgolf. Were you there when we went to Topgolf?
No, I was already gone. No? That was the last week.
You were already gone. That was right before, Swole left.
Yeah.
We all went to Topgolf, and somehow she ordered one, but somehow two got put in. We got two to the table, so she ate one, and a couple of us kind of shared the other one. And so I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll try it, right?
Heard it's delicious.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I would still much rather eat a nice burger.
Yeah, of course.
Not the same, especially when you make your own burger from scratch, right? We'll buy, if you're going to go buy a pre-made frozen patty burger, then yeah, go eat an Impossible Burger all day, right? It's not going to be much different for you. If you're going to make your own, season it. Because there's something to be said of taking a burger and putting seasoning on it, or making your own and being able to mix it in and it's fresh. It's non-comparison, right? So I'd still rather make my own burger and eat it that way. But if you're going to just go and buy a pre-made frozen pack of burgers, then why not eat something else, right? It wasn't bad. It was quite good. It kind of tasted like a burger. But it didn't taste anything like a burger I make on my grill, right? So it wasn't bad. But I thought it was interesting that they were teaming up with Burger King to do a vegetarian Whopper. So
yeah, and it's only going to be $1 more.
Okay, that's interesting. $1 more, but also probably better for you because those fast food burgers they're not the greatest burgers. 100%,
right? And it gets made in the same broilers.
So it's actually a better option.
It'll get made in the same type of broiler. Obviously, they can't put it in the same one, right?
Well, yeah, because then you're
type.
Contaminating.
And I guess this was like a long-term plan, like a long-term deal for Burger King because they wanted it to look just like they wanted it to be indistinguishable. So Impossible had to resize their patties and make sure that when it goes through the char thing that they get the lines and like Burger King was if it doesn't look exactly like it, we're not doing this.
If it doesn't look the same, we don't want to do it.
Because I think in their market analysis, most people would try it if it visually looked the same. And
yeah, for sure.
The little bit of studies they did do, it's showing that people did truly enjoy the taste, and the extra $1 wasn't a deal breaker for them. So it might be a win. It might be something that catches on.
Yeah, and you would have to think that, I'm not sure. I guess they have to do the extra $1 because an Impossible Burger is going to cost more than their cheap fucking.
It's a scientific made burger. Obviously, it's got to.
Yeah.
It's got to.
Well, so's their burger. It's definitely a science project.
Facts.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Something for the people out there. They're definitely taking a step in the right direction for other people.
We're all about equality and inclusion. We want to include everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Hey, if vegetarians also want to go and be fat asses and eat at Burger King,
Fuck
then
yeah.
now you can.
Fuck
now
yeah.
you can. But if we're staying on the food kick,
Keep it going.
Staying on the food kick. So there's you've probably heard for the last couple of years with Amazon buying Whole Foods that the price is going to drop. The price is going to drop, right?
Yep.
Apparently they haven't. I don't know. Never been to a Whole Foods.
You get the now if you use now you get every
when you can get your percentage back and all that.
You get 10% off of on top of the sales to the weekly ad. So like let's say like
and that's
avocados
nice.
are 5 for $5, you get an extra 10 for being an Amazon Prime member.
Well, that's great, but now you still have to pay the extra $80 a year to be a Prime member.
Yeah,
not everybody does that. Granted, most of the world should and probably does, but now you have to do that, and that's not technically slashing prices for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So supposedly now they will be. So they're slashing prices on 500 plus items in the store. You can save an average of 20% on items, ranging from organic carrots to cod fillets.
Yeah, I read about this, and that they said that it was going to be the 500 items were going to be some of the highest sellers. It wasn't just going to be random shit.
They're trying to rival like Walmart, Kroger prices, stuff like that.
I think their biggest competition is Sprouts and Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Sprouts is really popping up.
TJ's is just if you want clean organic, TJ's is the way to go. They're just cheap. It's just cheap, and maybe they're getting it via nefarious practices. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never heard any negatives about Trader Joe's. The advantage of Whole Foods is the local sections. They have so many local only products, and that's why I love like Whole Foods. I love one, they're the only people that sell bulk bulgur wheat.
So there's
but they got like the hot sauces, or the local hot sauces, the local coffees, the local meats. Like I like all that stuff. It is more expensive. That's the unfortunate thing.
For sure. There's a statistic here. While 65% of Prime members shop on Amazon's website several times a month, only 11% shop at Whole Foods that often. So, that's again, that's not giving a whole range of discounts to people.
If they, they're never going to get to the level of in terms of pricing as Walmart, but if they can come close. Well, no, they'll be on.
And you don't want to, because if you're getting that low on prices, then your food's not good.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not going to Walmart and buying meat.
No.
Unless you want to die. Okay?
100%.
But what do you think?
I feel good going into a Whole Foods because everyone in there is just so rich, and I'm so poor. It makes me feel good.
I've never been. I've always heard it's super expensive, and I've never lived right next to one where it made sense for me to go.
I'll say
I'm not going to go out of my way just to go check one out. Like, don't care that much.
Is it higher? Yes. Is it crazy expensive? I don't think so. I think people that say that, they see like an extra $1.50 for something, and they throw themselves all over the floor. Because I can get that at Walmart for half the price. But
if it's an extra $1.50 every item, well, now your bill is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, you go in there with a set plan. People just go to the grocery store and just buy whatever.
Well, and that's the thing. People just go in there willy nilly.
Well, because they're used to Walmart, where they can they just fill the whole fucking cart up. Want. For $200
out for $100.
You fill up the whole cart at Whole Foods, you're probably going to pay $350. Don't do
the same
all
thing
of your
at Publix though.
Yeah, don't do all of your groceries at Whole Foods. There's no sense.
I'll fill up a third of my cart and spend $120.
It's like for the people that are going to go to Whole Foods and buy a bag of rice. Like, fuck yourself. Go to Publix and get a bag of rice. Go to Walmart. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's bad for you.
It's rice.
It's bad for you.
Yeah.
Now if you want cuts of meat, I've gotten tons of like steaks and stuff at Whole Foods for very reasonable prices, and they're so good. So good.
That's good. Yeah, I definitely. It's not that I wouldn't go check one out. I don't have one close by, and I'm not gonna drive a fucking half hour
and
just to go and buy food. Right?
They got a bonkers.
I go to Publix. I buy Greenwise stuff.
Yeah.
So I tend to, my bill tends to be a little higher because I like buying Greenwise.
They're gonna
a little bit better.
They're gonna because South Tampa has the standalone Greenwise.
Yeah.
They're going to start expanding those. So
that'd be nice.
I don't think Whole Foods has a choice but to start bringing the prices down because if Publix Greenwise starts making moves, Publix is already creeping up north.
Yeah.
Publix going to put some people out of business.
Yep.
But the Whole Foods got that hot bar for like lunch. Oh, food is so good.
Oh, nice.
You just fill up and they charge you by the pound. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 66 days strong, taco meat every day, because that's the only thing here on the island to eat.
It's fantastic.
So I love when I talk about all kinds of different foods that I can't eat. I skipped dinner multiple times this week because it just grossed me out.
I mean, do you have to make taco meat every day?
I mean, I could
just make something else.
Well, I didn't
make a burger.
Yeah, but that requires me to actually cook everything. It's just I don't have time for all that. I make a bunch of taco meat, and it's it's made. I just end up reheating it.
Good for the week.
Yeah.
Reheat it.
I'll do burgers on the weekend, but it's usually for breakfast. I usually treat myself to some brunch. It makes me feel like I'm back home. And
it's fantastic.
Breakfast
burger.
I don't cry through breakfast Monday through Friday.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
We're at 117.
Yeah. I got 122 from when we recorded, so probably close to 120.
Yeah. Couple of quick hitters. Shout out to the Lightning, 62 wins this year.
Is that a record? Is that good?
That ties the points for most points because you get 2 points for a victory, one for a tie.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they either were in
That's good then. So it was good.
Oh, it was a record-setting season.
I heard they had a great year. I just I haven't really seen much.
There's an argument to be made for the greatest statistical season in NHL history. They were top 2 or 3 or even 1 in almost all of statistical categories in history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great season then, huh?
Yeah, it truly was.
Awesome.
I wrote a thing on Instagram about it, and I tagged Dickless, and I was like, well, all these accolades, and Dickless still thought John Cooper should be fired, so you can't please everyone. So shout out Dickless. We're thinking about you.
It's fantastic.
I
was actually just thinking about him the other day. I wanted to hit him up and go grab a beer with him or something. I haven't seen him in months.
Hey, Dickless, if you hear this, I saw a picture of you online.
If you're listening, probably not listening.
He's got Bradley Cooper hair now. He looks great.
Does he?
Not even Dickless. I'm not even kidding around. If I was if I was a little bit more gay, 65% gay,
you'd suck him off.
Well, I don't know if I'd suck him off, but I'd let him suck me off.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
I dabble a little bit.
That's fair.
I posted a little story on the Green Bay Packers. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers Bleacher Report, in my opinion, did a fantastic report on the dichotomy between the two of these guys and how Aaron isn't the greatest of teammates and Mike McCarthy was checked out. And a couple people on Instagram
I saw a couple
took
of
a couple of
comments.
shots, and they're children, so I'm not going to reply. They're actually kids.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, I went to reply to one because the one that was how is this good reporting or name a player? There's players quoted all throughout that report.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna highlight a quote and drop it, and then I clicked on the kid's profile, and I think he's a high school football player, and the other kid looked like he was 13. I was like, all right, it's all right, guys, we're good.
Well, they're not going to do the research. They're just going to go, well, it's an idol for them. Where's your proof? Well, go read,
I mean, ESPN, one of the ESPN analysts, I think Damian Woody, was basically saying Aaron Rodgers is a toxic teammate because he holds you to a standard that's just unachievable. And if you don't achieve his standards, he either won't throw the ball to you or he won't develop you. He dogged these rookie receivers this year. There's a lot in that report, and it wasn't just one. What I liked about it is it just wasn't one sided. So I implore people to go read it. I thought it was really interesting. It's not off. It's very rare that you get a sports because they're people that get into sports usually were journalists or writers beforehand, and it ends up being just one-sided. Like, you know, if they're a Chicago beat writer, it's always going to be either pro Chicago or against Chicago. There's never right in the middle. And this was, hey, look, Mike McCarthy fucked up on this. He became complacent, but Aaron Rodgers kind of hates him. You know, and like there's videos of Aaron, like, and I didn't know this. Like, I guess the camera was on him. He was about to get in the huddle, and like, you know, McCarthy's calling the play to the helmet, and Aaron, clear as day, and I can't read lips. I read him perfectly. He literally goes, "That's a stupid fucking play." And then I guess McCarthy goes, "What?" And Aaron goes, "That's a stupid fucking play." Hello?
Nope.
Yeah, I thought I lost you for a second.
Yeah,
so I thought it was a good piece.
You got to trust your coach. You got to have a good relationship if you plan on going the distance and winning championships.
I implore people to go read it.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me shit on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She tweeted out this week, I don't know why people bash the president. Stop bashing the president about his Twitter. Hers is awful too. Bash them both. Bash them both. That's what I'm saying. She tweeted out, croissants at LaGuardia are going for $7 a piece. Yet some people think getting a whole hour of personal dictated human labor for $15 is too expensive. I'm in another country, Alexandria, Miss Cortez. Oh, I got to say both your last names, Miss Ocasio-Cortez. I'm in another country, and a simple Google search shows that croissants are $3.69 at LaGuardia, and there's actual pictures of it, so it's not just someone writing that. And LaGuardia Airport minimum wage is anywhere between $15 and $19 an hour, so I don't know really what else you would have them do. But you're just trying to divide the country, and that's what you do weekly, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's clear that's all she's trying to do.
I love you. I love you. We need you. We need you. We need more divisiveness, because we need to hate each other some more. You stupid cunt.
Is she big into the green thing?
That's her deal. She made that.
So why is she flying?
Exactly. And some people pointed that out on Twitter. They were like, "Hey, what are you doing at LaGuardia?" Also,
not supposed to be doing.
Also,
that.
Minimum wage is $15 to $19 an hour. She took a record amount of Ubers in the month of like January, right after the Green New Deal came out. Because like her expenses have to be like public knowledge. So someone pulled how many Ubers she took. In one day, she took 28 Ubers.
Jesus Christ.
When her office is 1 block away from a subway station.
Jesus
So if you're so big on the fucking Green New Deal, take the fucking subway.
Yeah. The fuck are you taking Ubers
But no,
for?
I'm going to take
28 in a day?
28 in one day. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact.
Jesus Christ.
Alyssa Milano, I'm about to add you into this fuck you segment every week. You came out during the Kavanaugh thing and you said, "Hey, believe all women." Okay.
Yep.
But then Joe Biden has a plethora of women coming out saying, "Hey, it wasn't rape and it wasn't sexual assault, but he kind of touched me weird and he got real close to my neck and my ear." And they got actual videos on C-SPAN of him like nuzzling with a child,
Really?
It's just a little inappropriate. It's a little creepy. They're just voicing that out there. And then you have the audacity to say, "Hey, we should believe all women," but not all women's experiences are the same.
Women.
And my experience with Joe Biden's been great. So he's a good person. No, bitch. If you believe all women, then you stick to that shit. Don't jump ship when it doesn't go your way.
When it doesn't fit you. Yeah.
I don't mind that you say believe all women. I don't mind that. I do. I expect that from you. I have a problem with it, but I expect that.
You can't believe everybody of any gender.
No, I'm just saying I expect that from her, given her track record of being, a political activist, as like they like to call themselves. Yeah. But then when it doesn't teeter your way because he's going to be your vote if he decides to run, fuck off. Stick to your guns, sweetheart. When I say something on here, I stick to it. But I'm open-minded to change. But I'm never going to say believe all men. And then if The Rock gets charged with rape, be like, "Hey,
God, I think that would be the downfall of this country.
Jesus, man.
Something comes out about The Rock.
Yeah, I think so.
God, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, I mean, let's not look into it.
The whole world would explode.
Let's not piss test him because it's going to come back hot. It's going to come back so hot.
Well, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that.
Oh,
He's
me neither.
obviously on
Me neither.
all the steroids.
I love it. Keep doing
He's
it.
got to look good for his movies.
I mean, look. When he came into Hollywood, he lost all that weight, and then Hollywood was like, "Hey, we don't want that.
Hey, we want the buff wrestler.
I want the Brahma
you
Bull.
Want buff?
I want the
Brahma
Brahma Bull.
Okay, we got you the Brahma Bull.
Oh, that's what you want. Shout out to him because I saw an Instagram story this morning of him. I guess his new black Under Armour shoe, which actually looks good. It's one of the few times I've seen a shoe and I'm like, oh, it looks really good. It's like the highest selling Under Armour shoe of all time. So shout out to The Rock,
dude. Every product he is coming out with right now is the highest selling Under Armour.
They need to
time.
just switch the
Literally,
name.
his whole line is breaking all of their records.
It's like having
it's the fucking Rock.
It's like being Off-White. So the little bit I know about fashion, like Off-White does like seasonal clothing and sells it for like thousands of dollars.
I don't even know what
so
that is.
They'll just put it on their website and you buy it and that's it. It's gone. So it's like limited quantities, right? So it's like the hottest fashion like clothing line out right now. And all they do is it's ugly. I think it's ugly. I think it's all ugly, right? But that's all The Rock's doing. He puts limited quantities out every 3 months, and he's basically made a fashion brand within Under Armour. Under Armour needs to change their name to Project Rock.
Yeah. Crazy.
Did you see my video I posted late last night on Instagram?
No.
So last night was the WWE Hall of Fame because this is WrestleMania weekend. My greatest weekend of the year. NXT was Friday night. They fucking killed it. The crowd was hot. The matches were great. Then we had the Hall of Fame ceremony, and people shit on the Hall of Fame all the time because it runs long. So they changed the format this year. They condensed it down. Yep. It moved very quickly. It was beautiful. The speeches were great. Tori Wilson's father, shout out to her. Her father passed 2 days ago, and she still got up there and gave a speech. That's the kind of feminist role model you need to look to. Her speech was nothing about empowering, but it was fair. It was fair. And she thanked a bunch of men that helped her along her journey. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash. You know, that's the kind of role model that young women need to look towards. But something really unfortunate happened during the Hall of Fame ceremony. A fan, because the way they did it this year is instead of just using the stage as like where the people talk, they moved it into the ring and they took down the hard camera ring rope. And they put stairs, and the whole bottom level was kind of open with just like fancy like Oscar show railings instead of like the standard barricades.
Barrier,
So they inducted Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which there's no Hart Foundation without Jim the Anvil.
Of course not. Of course not.
Martha Hart's never going to hear this because I don't think she listens to anyone. We need to get Owen Hart in the WWE Hall of Fame. I know he died in a WWE ring, and it was unfortunate, but it was a fluke accident, Martha, and we need to get Owen in the Hall of Fame. So accepting Jim's award since he passed, unfortunately, late last year, was his daughter Natty. I've met her in person. I spent a couple hours with her. She's an amazing person. And Bret came out, and they both gave a little bit of a speech. A fan rushed the ring and tackled Bret Hart. And I'm not sure if it was via exuberance or trying to physically assault Bret Hart. But understand this, Bret Hart, although many in the wrestling industry think he's an asshole, he can be. But that man survived not only cancer, but he also survived a stroke that left him paralyzed for over a year.
Crazy.
It's an amazing story of how he's able to walk today and then wrestle in WrestleMania 29 or 28, I think it was.
And then you got this asshole.
Got an asshole that rushes this ring and
watching the video now.
A couple of shout outs. The Good Brothers, the wrestlers immediately hit the ring and beat the living piss out of this man.
Good.
Shout out to the WWE Network to cutting immediately the moment the guy hit the ring. So no one saw what the wrestlers were doing.
Oh, but there's videos.
Yeah, there's a handful of them. And that was the best one I could find.
You can see one guy punching him.
Shout out to Dash Wilder. Dash Wilder, as they're rolling him out, he legit, and he always talks about how he's a throwback wrestler.
Hanging over the rope, punching him.
Yeah, Dash Wilder always says, like, I'm a throwback wrestler. He legit walks up to the guy and cold cocks him on the way out. Shout out to you. I hope you don't get in any trouble. And a special shout out, the first motherfucker to hit the ring. And I'm going to get some heat for this because Travis Brown, yes, he was charged with domestic abuse against his wife. They divorced. I think there should be always a path to redemption. You don't always you don't have to forget, but you have to find a way of forgiving. People do terrible things in their past. He's Ronda Rousey's husband, so the fact that Ronda Rousey, a feminist, marries this guy, I think he's doing his part to rehabilitate himself. There's a lot of people that gave her shit for marrying him, given his background and her position as an empowered woman. But shout out to Travis Brown. He's not a wrestler. He's an MMA fighter. But he was the first motherfucker. He's so fast. He's a heavyweight, but he still moves so goddamn fast. He was in that ring in a split second. He's the one in the maroon jacket, and he just starts laying heat. Yeah. Shout out to Travis Brown. Bret Hart is a national treasure for Canada. I think he's the mayor of Calgary. He does whatever he wants. He literally does whatever he wants.
Whatever the fuck.
Truly unfortunate, but I'm glad the boys got in there. I'm glad the boys hit him. I saw some dirt sheets for the wrestling that were like, oh, it was disgusting. All of them didn't have to hit him. Fuck that. Fuck that. If that guy would have injured Bret Hart, I'd have fucking killed him myself. So fuck you. That's fucking Bret Hart. It's a different story. Him and Natty hit the floor. It was horrible. So shout out to the wrestlers for taking the matters in their own hands and fucking laying this idiot out. Don't do that. I don't know what people think. It's not about you that night. We're honoring people that have you're at the Hall of Fame ceremony. That means you're a diehard fan. Diehard fans don't go to these things.
Yeah.
That guy shaped your childhood. Don't fuck it up for everyone else.
Right. Yeah, it's fucked up. Anyway, shall we start wrapping this bitch up?
Yeah. Let's all boycott those 2 hotels in LA that are owned by the Kingdom of Brunei, that country of Brunei. Brunei. They just passed a law saying that if you're gay or you commit adultery, we'll just stone you to death. So
interesting.
When you think fucking America's terrible, it's 2019 and now you can stone a gay in Brunei. So do your homework, ladies and gentlemen. Do your fucking homework. I think it's the Beverly Hills Hotel and some other one. Ellen DeGeneres posted all the hotels that this guy owns. Boycott them all. No one go to them. We can't stand for this. 2019. First off, we shouldn't be stoning anyone, regardless of who they want to fuck. So yeah, I got all hot on Bret Hart, and then I saw the face of this fucking guy that wants to stone gays. It just pisses me off. It's not okay. Yeah. It's not okay.
Put him in a sharpshooter.
Oh man, Scott Hall got a couple of shout outs last night. Shout out to Scott Hall. He's had one of the hardest roads to recovery, much like Jake the Snake. I can't tell you how good Scott Hall looks. I got goosebumps seeing him looking that good. It's been a very long time since I've seen him look that good. I hope he stays on the sobriety. He looked great.
Nice. That's good.
That's it. Let's close this out.
Wrapping it up.
Let's close this fucker out. Can you feel the love tonight? Tonight. Where we are. I don't know any other words.
That was great, though. I liked it.
You got anything else?
I liked it. Nothing important.
All right.
We talked about AOC taking Ubers. Make sure it's an Uber. People are getting murdered by jumping in random cars. I'll
Really?
just put that out there. Yeah.
Who jumps in a random car?
There's been multiple. You haven't heard any of this? Multiple over the last like couple months. It's been getting crazy where like people are getting in the wrong car, or people are pulling up and saying they're an Uber.
Oh,
and
these people are
getting in
staging this.
Getting raped, murdered.
No way.
Oh yeah. Make sure it's your fucking car, and stay safe.
Yeah, man. I know because I drove Uber a little bit before in between semesters. Uber drivers have to have the little sticker on their window, and then Lyft has like the little light. So, guys, just look at the windshield. Do your homework. I mean, they give you a description of the car. You know.
Yeah, description of the car, picture of the person. You know.
And normally they have the
I have
app.
seen.
They have the app like
I have seen
in their car thing. Like the phone holster.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. The phone holder. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of. I've been seeing more and more of people not matching the pictures though either.
That's crazy.
Being a different person. Got some Uber Eats a couple months ago, and it wasn't. It was some random dude. It was supposed to be this old lady, and it was some guy rolled up. But he had my food, so I didn't care.
Whatever.
Didn't die. Still here.
Didn't die.
But be safe. All right, let's wrap it up.
You want to play this out for something? We just close it out.
Well, you can close it out. I mean, you just kind of sang us out. It's very sensual.
What can I say? I'm a sensual type of person.
Love it. But, yeah, no, I don't really got anything else.
I might be solo next week if you end up going to the bachelor party, right?
If I end up going, then possibly yes.
Well, tone out next week.
Still not sure that I'm going to be able to go.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure
it's less than a week away, but
it's like 4 days away.
I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm just not sure.
So don't listen. So go listen to 41. I know you're having trouble finding it. Remember, go back to your cell phone provider. Cell phone's broken. And
yell
then
at them.
Listen to 42, and then skip 43 if it's just me. If it's just me. All right. This
Sounds
wide-eye wanderer, I don't know the words.
Bye.